Welcome to Catalan News. Launching bilateral talks with Spain and the European Union to make Catalan independence possible. This is one of the plans the parties favouring the creation of a new Catalan state are considering if they win the upcoming election. While they draft their manifestos, pro-independence parties also keep asking for the release of the candidates that are still in prison. Their case might be transferred to the Spanish Supreme Court, where some argue they have more chances to be freed and campaign. Here at Catalan News, we'll get you the latest on their judicial case, and we'll also interview a member of the only candidacy not represented by either the pro-independence or the unionist blocs. Let's begin. Pro-independence parties decided to run in the election separately, but with a common roadmap to follow towards their ultimate goal. Now they're trying to find compromises. The two main pro-independence candidacies are working on 9 items to include in both manifestos, but the minor one, the left-wing CUP, wants to go even further.
Exiled President Puigdemont's Together for Catalonia and jailed Vice President Junqueras' Esquerra are on course to agree about what to do next on the road to independence. They are working on 9 common items in their manifestos, including launching bilateral talks with Spain and the EU to make independence possible by peaceful means, the release of political prisoners, defending Catalan self-rule, and calling the EU to protect the rights of Catalans against the Spanish authorities are among the other points. Yet they're also looking to bring the CUP candidacy into the agreement. Although a minor party, CUP was essential for ensuring that the pro-independence movement had a majority in Parliament last term. However, CUP officials say that the 9 points are at most a starting point.
Hem de reprendre l'acció política allà on la vam deixar, perquè l'estat espanyol va suspendre el Parlament i el govern, però la vam deixar amb un llistó bastant més alt del que recullen aquests punts.
Meanwhile, there was more Catalan politics happening in Brussels today. The leader of the unionist Ciutadans party, Inés Arrimadas, said in the European capital that Catalonia will no longer be a problem for the EU if she becomes the president.
I que si podem fer una alternativa de govern després de les eleccions, li asseguro que Catalunya deixarà de ser un problema per la Unió Europea, sinó que tornarà a ser part de la solució no només de tota Espanya, sinó també de la Unió Europea.
There was also an echo of the approaching election in Madrid. The Spanish President Mariano Rajoy vowed to accept the upcoming vote results, even if the pro-independence parties win. Yet he set one condition: respect for Spanish law. Rajoy also told Italian newspaper La Repubblica that he has saved Spain.
Today we are holding the second of a series of interviews with representatives of the parties expected to gain seats after the elections. Today we'll get to know more about Catalunya and Comú, Podem, a party led by Barcelona Mayor Ada Colau. Its main candidate for this election is Xavier Domènech, who has been MP in the Spanish Congress. They are very close to Spain's Podemos, member of the European United Left group in the European Parliament. Under another name, they took part in the past Catalan election, winning 11 seats out of 135. They have explicitly asked not to be counted either in the pro-independence or the unionist blocs. In fact, they aim to reach agreements with Esquerra and the Socialists. Both are left-leaning, but disagree when it comes to Catalonia's degree of self-rule. We will speak now with Marta Ribas, the number 4 for Catalunya in Comú Podem in the Barcelona constituency. Good evening, Ms. Ribas, and thank you for coming.
Good evening.
So let's begin. Bearing in mind Spain's recent actions against the Catalan government, do you think that a pacted referendum could ever be possible between both governments?
Of course, it's not easy, but it's for sure more possible than any unilateral solution. We've already seen that unilateralism is completely impossible. We cannot get to any good solution with these ways they have already proved from the since now government in Catalonia, and for sure we need solutions. We need solutions that made that people can express what they want. This means voting, and this means a referendum, and for sure it has to be a pacted referendum with all guarantees and recognized by the Spanish government and also by the international community. So it's not going to be easy. We know it. For sure, it's not going to be easy, not even possible with Partido Popular, but that's what we have to work for, to get rid of them in the government, in the Spanish government, and to keep working for getting this pacted referendum.
Okay, and regarding the coming election, there's been talk of a pact between you and the socialists. Thinking about the difference in your points of view with the application of Article 155, them being in favour of it and you against, do you think that might cause any difficulties?
Yes, of course, it's more difficult, but it's not, nothing is impossible. And I know, I really think that Catalonia needs pacts between the leftist parties in Catalonia. We need to talk again and to work again on the social agenda, and this is only possible if we pact with the rest of the leftists, but it's only going to be possible also if the rest move to get to an agreement in the main things that are the problems in Catalonia right now. We have to get rid of the 155 article of the Constitution, so socialists should move. We want them to move, and we ask them to move. They can do it. And of course, we cannot go again to an unilateral way. So the rest of the leftists, unilateralists, have to move to, if they want a pact in Catalonia of majorities that can make possible to act in those things that really are necessary right now for the people in Catalonia, that are health, that are education, public education, that are environmental policies, so the public policies that have been lost during these last years.
Okay, and again, well, thinking about Article 155 once more, you've been in favour of dialogue between Catalonia and Spain all along. Now, after its application, is it still possible? Do you think dialogue could take place between both governments?
Dialogue is always necessary. Not even a war finishes without dialogue. So for sure, that is just a political problem, has to be solved with politics, with dialogue. And it's necessary. It's more difficult right now than some months ago. We have to blame on it to the Spanish government that has had no volunteer to talk with the Catalan government, to recognize what was happening and to start a dialogue and to put some political solution on the table. But they will have to do it someday. We hope that sooner than later.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Ribas. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Less than a month before the election imposed by the Spanish government using Article 155 of the Constitution, some citizens and trade unions continue protesting against the takeover of Catalonia's self-rule. In fact, civil servants are organising themselves against the measure. They've set up an assembly of workers rejecting Madrid's control of the Catalan government. One of the first actions they've taken is holding a demonstration in central Barcelona. They only recognise the deposed Catalan cabinet as the legitimate one. And they also want to denounce that the Catalan administration is not working as usual after the seizure of power. But they aren't the only ones protesting. Another rally was held today in Girona, northern Catalonia, to reject Spain's measures. The two main Catalan unions took part. And let's move on now to Madrid, because pro-independence leaders continue to demand their release from prison so they can run in the electoral campaign while free. Today, the former president of the Catalan National Assembly, Jordi Sanchez, brought his case to the Constitutional Court. Should his demands fall on deaf ears, Sanchez's lawyers said they will bring the case to even higher instances, to the European Court of Human Rights.
The imprisonment of pro-independence leader Jordi Sanchez undermines his fundamental rights. This is what Sanchez's defense claims in the allegation presented today at the Constitutional Court. As the former president of the Catalan National Assembly, Sanchez became one of the most prominent figures of the pro-independence movement at the grassroots level. Indeed, he was sent to jail on October 16th, accused of playing a key role in the demonstrations that took place in Barcelona in the run-up to the referendum. Sanchez's defense argues that the case falls outside the National Court's jurisdiction, and concerns over flight risk and spoliation of evidence have not been sufficiently justified. If released, Sanchez could become the most senior figure on the Together for Catalonia election ticket, where he is currently number 2, to participate in the electoral campaign, at least in Catalonia. President Carles Puigdemont, the head of the candidacy, is currently in Belgium awaiting a decision on his extradition. But the fate of Puigdemont and Sanchez could eventually depend on the same person. The Supreme Court judge who is already trying Parliament Bureau members for allowing a vote on independence has moved to also take over the National Court's case against government members and civil society leaders. And the National Court is in favor. The reason, they said, is that the accused are part of a complex organization which planned to achieve a new state contravening the constitutional order. And the importance of their actions can't be assessed separately. Some see the possible takeover as good news for the defendants, as the Supreme Court has taken more lenient precautionary measures against the Parliament Bureau members. Whether this will mean the release of all the imprisoned leaders is yet to be seen.
In the same day when Sanchez asked for his release, the Constitutional Court suspended the imprisonment of a group of people condemned for violently assaulting a Catalan event. In 2013, a group of far-right protesters violently broke into the Blanquerna Library in Madrid, where Catalan authorities were celebrating Catalan's National Day. The aggressors waved flags with fascist symbols, shoved attendees, broke windows and chanted things like, "Don't lie to us, Catalonia is Spain." The accused were sentenced to 4 years in jail, but the defence presented allegations, and their entry to prison was delayed up to 4 times. Now it has been suspended as the Constitutional Court hears their appeal. Let's move now to another story. On Saturday, it's the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. On Saturday, people will take to the streets in Catalonia to denounce violence against women as they do every year. 1 in 3 women in Barcelona have been victims of violence, according to figures released today by a report by the Barcelona City Council. The council is also launching soon a new phone application to denounce sexist violence. Talking culture now. Joan Miró was one of the most quintessential Catalan artists. Known for his vibrant, surrealist art, the legacy of this painter, sculptor and ceramicist is largely due to the work of the Joan Miró Foundation. And after 37 years, the foundation has appointed a new director for the years to come.
Joan Miró's colorful, whimsical art has been a referent for Barcelona for many years. This is in part thanks to the Joan Miró Foundation, established in 1975. Since then, it's worked to conserve the artist's memory. The foundation has had the same director since 1980, until now. The new director was chosen unanimously by the board. His name is Daniel Marco, and he cut his teeth working for illustrious names like the Tate Modern and Tate Britain. Marco is also specialized in art history, specifically in Catalan and Spanish works. The new director has various goals for the foundation in the coming years. He wants it to be a source of pride for the country and aims to revitalize the artist's image for new generations, as well as promoting it abroad. But he places a special importance on Miró's roots in Catalan culture, which he thinks can lead to an even broader view.
Desde aquí podemos estar tanto arraigados en la cultura local como abiertos al arte global y ser un punto de encuentro entre lo local y lo internacional.
Joan Miró y Farrá was born in Barcelona at the end of the 19th century and quickly positioned himself as one of the most iconic Catalan painters, sculptors and ceramicists ever. His work is mainly surrealist, meaning it opens the door to the wanderings and workings of the subconscious mind. Art lovers can admire his work at the Joan Miró Foundation, which is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., with a constant array of new exhibits from international artists to be enjoyed.
And that's our show for today. But before we go, we leave with a homage to the Catalan poet Màrius Torres. This sombre and moving performance was carried out by actors Ramon Madaula, Emma Villarasau and Jordi Bush, and accompanied by the music of the string quartet Sound Boulevard. Enjoy and see you tomorrow.
Que en els meus anys la joia recomenci sense esborrar cap cicatriu de l'esperit.